the chat. Let's start the show.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Wherever you are tuning in from internationally for the Happy Hour Show, we are back for another episode down in season 3. Yes. I'm so excited to have you here with me because we have a phenomenal guest who's going to rock the house. How do I know? Because I know her and she is amazing. Okay. So before we get into all that, let me introduce to you myself and the show. If you are new to the show, I need you to do a couple things. Okay. I need you to comment, love, and share this video out. Because this is a personal development show. Personal development for you to grow spiritually, professionally, personally, in all the ways that you can personally grow, okay? So comment, love, share, because if you are finding this information valuable, then I can guarantee you that someone on your timeline is also going to need the nuggets that I know will be dropped on tonight. So if you are watching this right now live, then comment all the way live. Hey, we love you. And if you're catching the replay later on, it's okay. We still love you too. Comment replay all day, all right? Just make sure, again, that you comment, love, and share this video out. Now, if you're looking at your screen or you're listening to your audio and you're thinking, who is this crazy lady that is talking my ear off already? My name is Lindsey Vertner, and I'm award-winning peak potential strategist and transformational speaker. And mindset is my jam, honey. Okay, in 2007, I fully recovered from a fatal car wreck where I was left brain dead and paralyzed. And that actually led me to walking in my purpose and doing what I do today as a mindset expert, coaching high achieving women who struggle with things like perfectionism, overthinking, and doubt. I teach them how to master their mindset. All right, so that they can increase things like their clarity, connections, cash flow, and their confidence. So that is what I do. And I'm super excited to introduce tonight's guest because listen, honey, this show ain't all about me, okay? It's about all of us supporting one another. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce tonight's Happy Hour Show guest. Her name is Dr. Nichole Peters. She's a professional certified life coach, media mogul, international motivational speaker, executive producer, journalist, publisher, and she's a #1 award-winning best-selling author. In 2020, Dr. Nichole received her PhD in leadership and biblical studies. In 2019, she received not one, but 2 honorary doctorates in Christian education and counseling. She's the CEO and founder of Women of Love, Power, and Respect and the Believe in Your Dreams Academy, Publishing, and Television. Dr. Nichole's purpose is reaching back and coaching other women and youth who've suffered from traumatic experiences to become Believe warriors, okay? And she does that by snatching back their healing power through self-love and supernatural prayers. She hosts wellness retreats and empowerment conferences, and she is a diehard advocate for domestic violence survivors. So without further ado, let's welcome our guest who we lost. Oh no, we lost her backstage. But it's okay. We're going to go over here to the comments. I know that she is in some stormy weather right now. But that's what happens. When you are live, you roll with it and you go with it. And I'm sure she will be back just as soon as she can. So while we wait for her to reconnect, and y'all send her all the prayers because they're in the middle of a thunderstorm down in Florida, let's check out what these comments are saying. I know we have a lot of people people tuned in. Hey, we have Reverend Dr. Renee. She says, good evening, tuning in from New York, and she is so excited. Darissa says, hey, family. Thanks for tuning in. Keisha says, hey, lady. Yes. Make sure y'all comment where y'all tuning in from. I hope y'all grabbed y'all drink and y'all are ready to join the chat. I see you. Carolyn is all the way live. Yolanda just shared it and she's all the way live. Yes. And guess what? Our special guest is back. Yes, one monkey don't stop no show, okay? We are ready to rock it out. We aren't going to let no thunderstorms hold us back. So without further ado, tonight's guest, Dr. Nichole Peters. Hey.
Hey, Lindsey, how is it going?
I am well. Yes. You disappeared from backstage, and I was like, oh no. So luckily, you had already given me the heads up about the thunderstorms and the power going in and out. But we're here.
Yes.
We're here, and we are making it. And I just briefly told the viewers and listeners just a little bit about all of the amazing things that you do. And before we get into how you serve the people of the world on today, I want you to take it back. Tell us, who is Dr. Nichole really? Like, give us the good tea. Take us back into time. Who are you, Dr. Nichole?
I am Dr. Nichole Peters. I was born and raised 63 miles north of New Orleans, called a small town called Bugalusa, Louisiana. And we was called the Magic City too, because the town was so small that everybody knew each other, but we rocked in that town. So that is me. I'm from Bugalusa, Louisiana. I have six amazing kids, a wonderful husband. I'm a professional life coach, an international best-selling author, speaker, media mogul, as they call it, mogul, or however they say it. I try my best to say it right because they just gave me this name out of nowhere. And I help rock other people to know who they are, to snatch back their power, to believe in their dreams and know that they can be unstoppable because great is in them. Beat, get on the bus, because I help people to break through, have unstoppables, and to have success.
Yes, beat, get on the bus, okay? Listen, how do you say your hometown? Bugalusa? Say it again.
It's Bugalusa. It's Bogalusa. Bugalusa, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
So yes, it's 63 miles north of New Orleans. Like you probably heard of Mandeville and a lot of St. Tammany Parish way. So it's really close to that area, but we're a little small town, but we have so much opportunity there. Like, the little girl, Cece, I know you probably never heard. Cece, that's the comedian. She's actually from Bugalusa. My Lisa that works with Kim K, she's actually from Bugalusa. We got lots of talent right there in Bugalusa. So many people doing great things, like Dana Walker with her people, her kids that she do a lot with. And it's like, one thing we do know about this town is it's coming back. It was hit hard during Hurricane Katrina in Bugalusa. And to be honest with you, it was a lot of stuff that went on. I don't know if you ever watched the movie with Forrest Whitaker in it called The Dinkin of Defense. But watch that movie and it'll show you where Bugalusa had to fight back against the KKKs back in the days. And they had to either die or start fighting for their family. So I was born to fight. My grandfather and some of my family, they walked up to the KKKs like it wasn't nothing back in the days. So we learned how to be fighters, how to be warriors, and how to keep going. In that town, and when they first got their first black principal, it changed a lot there. Some of the people weren't ready for change, but now change is there. You see a lot of, black women of color, young girls now paper dolls. When you only see two black girls that was paper dolls, maybe three on the team that was paper dolls. Now, like, you see so much going on, and they're elevating, and people are now coming together, black, white. We even have Hispanics there now. We used to maybe 2% Hispanic, and the median income was only like $23,000. I don't know what it is now. I think it's like maybe 27 now. And the Bugalusa paper mill is what a lot of people work there, and it's the lumber company, and it sit right there in the middle of the town. But it's where a lot of people get their income from there. The Bugalusa paper mill, and then we have also like the hospitals, 2 hospitals. We have a beautiful high school called the Bugalusa High School, the home of the Lumberjacks. I'm waiting to see what the Lumberjacks going to do this year. I'm rooting for my team, my high school team. Yes, because I was one of the jokesters. I always been a jokester. Even in high school, I was the jokester. So I can't wait. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I didn't know Bugalusa. I still feel like I'm saying it wrong, but I didn't know they had so much to offer, okay? Never heard of it before tonight. And so, I know a bit of your story and your background, and I definitely want you to share that with our viewers and listeners because, COVID brought a lot of craziness for a lot of people. However, even before COVID, there was a lot of craziness for a lot of people. And, sometimes people have a hard time feeling like, oh, how am I going to get past this? Every time I turn around, it's obstacle after obstacle. And, oh, like nothing good ever happens to me. But you are a walking example that no matter what is going on around you, no matter your background, no matter your upbringing, you have the ability to turn things around and achieve the things that you desire. And I know that one of the things that you desired was to be an author. And before we get into what you do today, I want you to go back to your childhood and share that story. And I think you know exactly which one I'm talking about, but where you were counted out just as a child and how that affected your behavior growing up.
Oh yes. One day I was running late for school, and my grandma thought I was gone. Remind you, my grandmother was my world. She was my Giro. And when I say Giro, granny hero is what it means. And my mom had to work long hours, Lindsay. She took care of her sickly mother, and she also took care of her 9 kids. So with that being said, she had a lot on her plate because my dad was dying of sugar diabetes as well. So when my grandma thought I was gone to school, she said, Effie, and my grandmother's real name is Essie. My mom was named after my grandmother twin who passed away. And she said, Effie, don't you think it's time to tell Nikki baby that I'm dying of congested heart failure? And at that time, I was actually lacing up my shoes, and it's like I caught like a feeling in my stomach. And I was like, did she just say the word die? I already know what my daddy was going through. And now I got to hear what my mama, my grandma, my Giro was dying. That was something I did not want to hear. So when she realized I was still in the house, I hurried up and got my book sack, and I was, going to school. And over this, we live 2 miles radius because I was born and raised in the projects. And when you live 2 miles radius from the school, you got to cross this bridge. And under this bridge is this flowing river. And me and my friends, sometimes we'll be at that bridge and we'll talk and we'll have fun and say, well, who we're going to be and talk about what they say we're going to be, like product of our environment. Well, that day I was just so full. I was so full of hearing my daddy might have to get his foot cut off from sugar diabetes. And now hearing that my mom, my Giro is going to die. I put that book sack down and I got ready to put my foot on that raft. And I was ready to dive in, Lindsay, and die. At an early age, I was ready to die. My friend who never be late for school, the one that now she's more jokes than me. She was like, hey, what you doing, Nikki? We got to get to school. Today career day. We've been talking about what we're going to be. And I was like, no, you go head on. And I actually was going to walk, like look at her while she going up some because I didn't want her to see me dive in. And she said, no, you come on. And the way she grabbed me, I was like, you know what? There is a God. I do want to go and talk about, want to go career day because that's something that we have fun on that day. So when we got to school, Northside Elementary, we saw teachers that talked, counselors, scientists. We had so many different careers, police officer that came in there. But one of the students' mom came in here, and she was an author. And she was a speaker, and she rocked my world, Lindsay. She turned my frown into a smile. She turned my sadness into joy. So after school, the teacher asked us a question, and she said, what do y'all want to be when you grow up? Now, since you done heard from different people, what do you want to be? So when it got time to me, I raised my hand up. I was like, yes, I want to be that author. I want to be that speaker. Just like her, she rocked my world. She changed the way I feel. And I was just full of so much excitement, Lindsay. And the way my teacher looked at me. And it let me know then that she did not believe in me, or if, girl, you're not gonna be able to do this. So I remember how everybody else raised their hand, how she made them feel. She didn't say that. Like, she was like, okay. But with everybody else, that's great. You can. But with me, it was different. So when the school bell rung, I grabbed my book sack again. And I was ready to get to that bridge. I was like, you know what? My teacher don't believe in me. My grandma dying. My daddy dying. My mama work all the time. Out of the 3 people that love me, I'm losing 2. I may as well go ahead and jump in this bridge. So she said, stay in school. I need to talk to you for 1 second. She said, you know, you're very smart in math and science. You can pass a math project. You can do some science projects at the fair. You always come in first, second place, third place. But, you know, you take Title I classes for reading comprehension and English and writing. She said, so think about doing something in in science and math. Right then and there, I was like, she don't believe in me. She informed me of all my inadequacies, but she not saying, okay, well, you can do it. You might have to do extra. You know, a child spend at least 7 to 8 to 9 hours a day with their teacher. What your mom, your parents always told you these words. Listen to what your teacher say. Your teacher knows that's what they got an education for. That's the main thing that they tell you. So that's what I did. I listened to what she said, and I was like, how she can say I can't be that when I know what this lady just did to my soul? I know what this lady just made me feel like. I snatched you already know my little feistiness. Just imagine me really feisty back then, right? I snatched that book sack up and I turned around and told her, I said, I am going to be that. I said it with so much fierce. With so much like God was like telling me, you tell her just what you're gonna be. And I was like, I am gonna be that author one day. And I slammed that door and I went to running. I was running fast because you keep on straight, you gotta go across a couple of streets, and then you're gonna be right back at that bridge. Well, my grandma was very strict, and she noticed that she saw Nene, she saw everybody else having them came home from school, like, where is my granddaughter at? So when I got closer to the bridge, I was seeing somebody there, and I was like, I don't know who there, because I'm getting ready to jump in this bridge. I just want to die. And it's like a voice was saying, go ahead, dive in. And my grandmother was right there at that bridge. What in the world is taking you so long to be home? What was you doing? And then she noticed I was crying, and she noticed I was shaking, and she noticed there was something wrong with her granddaughter. And she said, what's wrong with you? I said, my teacher don't believe in me, Grandma. I said, and what I heard about you today and everything, I said, I'm just tired. You know, I was shaking everything. And she had that little house coat on. You know those grandmas that wore those house coats that got those little 2 pockets on the side that carried them little mini Bibles in there. And she slapped that little mini Bible out and she said, put it on Mark 9:23. And she said, what did God say? Anything is possible for those that believe. Are you going to believe what God says, or are you going to believe what that teacher says? Because I'm telling you who you're going to believe. You're going to believe what I tell you. I'm your Jiro. And you're going to believe what God says. And it's so important how it happened at that bridge. Like, God put me at that bridge for a reason, to bridge my mindset. To know, even though I am a child, I am capable of doing what other people think I can't do. And you got your Jiro right there. That's sickly. That's telling you what you can do. So when we was walking back in those projects, and she was telling me, girl, don't you remember you had your sister to go sell Avon? You couldn't even buy the Avon. You couldn't get an Avon, but I had my sister, who was my oldest sister, Vanessa, to order the Avon. And I was 9 years old to 11 years old, selling more Skin So Sauce to everybody in the Redmond Heights projects, the Oak Hill projects, to everybody in Papa Quarters neighborhood. I had them smelling like skin, SOSSS skin.
Listen, we're going to have to take a quick break, because I got to make sure that the viewers and listeners caught at least a handful of all the nuggets that you have already dropped in this first 20 minutes. If you are just tuning in, you are watching the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner. That is me. And our very beautiful guest, Miss Dr. Nichole Peters, right over here. She is amazing in all the different things that she does. She is a media mogul, journalist, a #1 bestselling author. She's won many awards and so much more. She's an advocate for domestic violence, and she has already dropped a whole bunch of gems. And I just want to double back and dissect a few of those. One of the big things that stood out is, sometimes we have negative people around us, and it's very important that we are mindful of
Yeah.
what voice are we listening to. Because even with our own self, like you said, when you were at the bridge, there was a voice telling you to just jump. And that wasn't your teacher's voice, that was your voice telling you to just jump. But for those that are spiritual in the world, we know whose voice that really was. That was the enemy's voice, because we know he's the one that brings destruction and death and negativity and confusion and anxiety and depression and all of those things. And so I absolutely love that your grandma was at the bridge and she said to you, whose voice are you going to listen to?
Yes.
Your teachers, the enemies, or God's? Because when you're listening to God's voice, even when you are scared, there's always bigger and better. And you might be thinking that you're losing or sacrificing something, but there's always bigger and better when you listen to God's voice and you're obedient to what he's asking you to do. And in that moment, he wanted you to live. And child, you did exactly that.
Yes, you're right.
Over here in the comments, they are just loving you like I knew that they would. Sean says yes.
Yes.
Sheila is giving all the hearts.
I see the
Siobhan says
BBB family.
she still wears her skin so soft. Yolanda says my advocate twin. Dr.
Yes, my twin.
Rock. Erica says a bad teacher can make or break a student, but
Yes.
thank God. And that's important to know because, how we act as adults a lot of times can be rooted to the experiences that we had as children, and they're called limiting beliefs. And so when we hear the adults around us putting things on us, we can often internalize that. And then we grow up feeling like we're not good enough, or we are procrastinating or self-sabotaging. We're in these toxic cycles and all these different things. And for you to understand and recognize that your teacher responded to all the other students differently than she responded to you.
Yes.
We have to remember our words are very powerful, whether we're saying them to somebody else or whether we're saying them to ourselves. So we have to be mindful of every single thought that we think and every single word that we speak, not only over ourselves, but over other people as well.
Yes.
So before we jump into more discussion, I think that this would be a great time to take a quick pause and play just a little fun game that I like to call What's in Your Cup?
What's in your cup?
Oh yeah. If you are new to the show, this is the part of the show where we find out exactly what's in your cup. It's a happy hour show. And listen, hashtag no judgment zone, okay? Come as you are. So whether you have something healthy like water or tea in your cup, or you got a party in your cup like tequila, rum. It's okay. It's all right. Do you, boo? That's your business. So our guest is going to share what she's sipping on and give us a little cup cam, and I'll share what I'm sipping on. And all you viewers and listeners that are tuned in right now, put in the comments what you are sipping on. And if unfortunately you forgot to grab your drink, it's okay. It's okay. Put what you wish you were sipping on. So Dr. Nichole, what's in your cup?
I have orange juice in my cup with 3 drops of lavender in there. The doTERRA essential oils. I have a drop. I have 2 drops of lavender and a drop of bergamot in there, because bergamot is good for your nerves, and lavender help you sleep. And the reason why I do that, because it took me from 14 medications all the way down to 3.
What? Hey, listen, talk about holistic healthcare, okay? Because
I would have had some wine, but I was out.
See, and it's okay because I got you covered. Give them a little cup cam. Show them your cup right there. Looks like a nice little, what is that? A disposable cup that you got at home? So in my cup, I thought that I would pull out my Jet Beauty of the Week cup.
Ooh.
And in my cup, so while you're keeping it healthy over there, I've got a party in my cup on today. Let me take a little sip. Mm-hmm.
What you got?
And so this is a new drink that was made up over this past weekend. One of my best friends, Belcher Taylor, she had a great day party called Sundresses and Polos.
Oh.
And I was at the store and I saw some strawberry lemonade that I'd never seen before because I was out of town. And I was like, I love lemonades, okay? And so I was like, ooh, I want to try that. And so I grabbed a little bottle. And then when I got back to the event, I told the bartender, I was like, okay, listen, all my drinks, can you just mix this lemonade with it? And so in my cup, I have strawberry rum, strawberry lemonade, and then Sprite. That's the only 3 ingredients. So listen, for all y'all listening at home, you can make it. There are no measurements. Just pour some rum, pour some strawberry lemonade, and pour some Sprite to your heart's content. All right. And I drank it all night. I drank the whole bottle of lemonade in my mixtures, and I made me some tonight. And it's delicious.
Awesome. It sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I drink 1 glass of wine and I'm out. I can't go any further.
Listen, me too. I know if I'm drinking wine, then it's going to be bedtime after that. Wine makes me sleepy. Over here in the comments, let's see. Yolanda says, I switch teachers like stocks the moment I discover that type of vibe toward my children. Yes, absolutely. Yes. It's important
they got them out there,
to be proactive like that. Mm-hmm. And let's see. Carolyn is drinking coffee.
That's my cousin. That's my family.
Hey, cousin. Pamela is keeping it healthy, drinking water. Erica is drinking Red Electra Moscato.
That's what I drink too, Moscato.
I never heard of Red Electra. See, look, we be sharing drink recipes. Dr. Renee is sipping on Hint water. Ooh, what flavor? I like Hint water. Mm-hmm. Yolanda is drinking Airborne. Shawan is also drinking water, and she gave it to us bilingual, some agua. Okay. Keisha has iced apple juice.
Ooh, that sounds good, Keisha.
Dr. Renee says must wear about holistic healthcare. Mm-hmm. And Yolanda is having tap water from Evansville, Indiana. Has the best tap water, she says.
Wow, I love some tap water.
Yes. So keep on posting if you're just now tuning in what you're drinking on. Meanwhile, we're going to get back into this discussion.
What she has.
And don't forget to comment, love, and share this video out. And remember, this is a conversation between myself, the beautiful Dr. Nichole, and you. So make sure you are sharing those comments down in the comments below. That's what they're there for.
Awesome.
So, getting back into this discussion, lovely Dr. Nichole, you're decided that, thank you. You are going to prove your teacher wrong, okay, with everything in your heart, and you are going to become a writer and author and just really live your life, because that was a pivotal moment for you on the bridge. However, I know before you got to those things, you endured some other obstacles along the way, as far as dealings with the street and some domestic violence. So share a little bit about that, because I just really want the viewers and listeners to know that life isn't always easy, and you may be feeling like, oh, I'm getting hit with obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, and it's never going to have a good point. But it's important that we keep going, because like you're about to illustrate, you have more obstacles after that childhood moment with your teacher. However, you are flourishing now. So share a little bit more about some of those other obstacles you endured during your lifetime.
I sure will, Lindsay. No problem. And thank you for having me on here. I forgot to say that earlier.
Absolutely.
After I did exactly what my grandma say, I started writing more. I was doing everything. But when it got time for me to go to school, go to college, I lost my mom. I'm sorry. I lost my grandmother and my dad 9 months apart. in the environment where I was from, we was always told we're a product of our environment. Only 8% gonna get out, maybe 5% gonna get out. You're gonna be stuck here. You're gonna be in, on government all your life. You're gonna not be, don't even worry about it. It's meant for us to fail. The system is set up for us to fail. And I still do believe the system is like that as well. So, that kind of stuff get in your head when you have your community people, some people in the community telling you that, when people that look down on you. So during that process, I didn't have grandma to call no more. I didn't have daddy to call no more. And my mom, she was going through so much. So I talked to her, but it wasn't nothing. I promise you, don't get me wrong. Me and my mother always got along. I love my mom, but it's nothing like a grandmother's love. It was so different. And my dad too. But my grandma was like, she can just put me back where I need to be at. And I didn't have that. So when I was going to school, I had to get an English tutor, right? And I had to get somebody to help me keep me on going. So my English tutor we ended up falling in love. Well, Lindsey, lo and behold, he lived a whole nother lifestyle. I didn't know for a while. When I did find out about everything he was doing, because he graduated with 2 degrees in accounting and business management, so I actually thought he was offshore. Come to find out, his offshore was a trap house. So by the time I found out about everything, I was already in love with him. I was living the best life. I'm driving a Cadillac at 20 years old. I got a pocket full of money. I can go to the mall anytime I wanted. I was living that life. So when you found out, he was like, I'm sorry, baby, what you want to do? I understand if you want to leave me. I didn't want to go back to that environment. So I became his ride or die chick. And I ride it till the wheels fell off almost. I ride it all the way until I was hearing that some other girl was going with him on a trip. And I decided, so really? Some other girl going with him on a trip? I'll start going then. And one time, lo and behold, I went on a deal with him. And I ended up getting a gun pointed at my head. The only reason why the guy did not kill me, Lindsey, is because I was pregnant with child. He didn't believe in killing children or pregnant women. And at that time, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I had when you're pregnant, I just had urine going all the way down my legs. I was shaking. I was so scared because I thought I was about to die then. And I was like in a moment to where, I had to realize how much you can be young and naive and put a man before everything. And here I am about to die. And the guy didn't kill me because if it wasn't for me to turn around a little bit and show him my belly, I was gone, Lindsey. I was gone. So during that process, we end up still getting in, after all that happened, I ended up having to do 5 days and actually 5 nights and 5 days and 4 nights in jail. And during that time, I had time to think. Like, is this what you want to do? Is this what your grandmother and your daddy and your mother instilled in you? Are you going to believe the community? Are you going to believe what other people said that this what, because you feel like you hype. When you that right hand chick, you think you the baddest. You got that street credibility. Like everybody in my hometown know me as Nikki Lee. If you know Nikki Lee, she didn't care. If you mess with her, I was always the type that loved people. But if you mess with me, you was gonna get it. So that's what they knew me by. And you think that street life is what it is. And I failed in that street life because I was always told that I couldn't be great. I was always told that I wasn't enough. But those 5 days in that jail, I had to think about Paul and Elijah. Remember, they prayed them doors open. They prayed them prison doors open. And I was that 5 days. And now people always say, Nichole, you act like those 5 days was like 15 years. I don't know what they felt like. But baby, let me tell you, Lindsey, those 5 days right there was enough for me. When it got time for me to go up to that judge and they called my name, I was like, I'm here. He said, I ain't never seen nobody so excited coming from the judge. I said, because you know why, Judge? I said, you don't have to never worry about me coming in here again. I already know what my purpose is. I already know who God said I was. I already know who my grandmother said I was. I'm done. And I looked over here at him and told him, and we done too. I said, because I am no longer living this kind of life anymore. I told that judge, I said, I know what God wants for me. I know God said these words that I would be great. I know God said that I had more coming to me and that I had a purpose to help women. I always thought I was this little superhero where I go and save the day, where I help people that's going through domestic violence, help people that's on drugs, help people that feel like they're nobody, help people that's going through traumatic. It's everything within them 5 days in that jailhouse. I promise you, God showed me my life that I'm living now, if I do what he tell me to do. And that judge looked at me and he said, I'm going to give you a second chance. Because, baby, you done came in here and gave me a whole lifetime story. He said, I'm going to give you the second chance. Because everybody make mistakes. Give me that chance. Give me that chance.
Yes.
And the next time he saw me, the next time that judge saw me, I was at the same school showing those kids how to write a book. I was walking out and he was coming in, showing those kids how to write books. And Kellen that's on here, it was her daughter who had a summer camp there at the Northside Elementary School. And we didn't have it last year because of COVID, but the year before I came and I showed them kids how to write books. I showed them to believe in their dreams. I told them it doesn't matter what people say about them. I am now that author, 20 times author. Best-selling, international. I am now that speaker, speaking all over the world, from Bahamas to Cozumel, Mexico, to Puerto Rico, to Paris, France, to all over in parts of the United States. I am now teaching people how to have a TV show, how to put their show on different channels. I also got partnership with people like Smart TV and a couple other people that I just joined in with MediaCon and different things that I'm doing now. I had to prove not only to the judge, but prove to my God, I can do what you said I can do. I'm going to trust you and let God transform you as a new person by renewing how the way you think. Romans 12:2. And that's what I had to do, transform my mind. Because when the enemy got your mind, that's why I was acting all crazy. Because the enemy was in my mind telling me, be that crazy chick. Yeah, have that gun on the side of you. Yeah, go ahead and do this and do that. Don't worry about church. All people in church is crazy. Which church people can cause you some vex, call you some hell. I'll just be honest with you. Because after I did get myself right and start going to church, I was like, is this the way they act too? I got around certain coaches and I was like, is this the way they act too? Wait a minute. I had more respect in the streets than I had from the people who supposed to be here to lift me up. But then I had to realize it doesn't matter what you go through. There's going to be wolves there. There's going to be people that evildoers there. There's going to be darkness in there. But if you stay in light, and you put God's words into practice, like he said in Luke, then he will bless you. He would bless you from putting his words in practice. That's why I went back to women who went through the same thing I went through. Women who don't think they got a chance. Women who was caught up in that dope life, caught up in that street life for a minute. I'm not afraid to say I was caught up in that street life. And a lot of times people get intimidated you because they still in the closet on things they did. And I'm out here speaking the truth because we are not a product of our environment. I want everybody that's in this chat right now to put in there, I am not a product of my environment. I'm a product of God. And when you know that you're not a product of your environment, you're a product of God. Now I see so many coaches. I see so many people talking about they're not a product of their environment. Now, remember, people used to always say, we are just a product of our environment, and there'll be the excuse why they'll do what they do because of that. But no, we got to change that phrase. No, we're not a product of our environment. We was raised there in that environment. But what you gonna do? Are you gonna stay thinking that that's what you're supposed to be? Or are you gonna walk in authority of what God said? Well, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are more than a conqueror. We are unstoppable, and we can mount up like an eagle. And like my favorite mentor, Uncle Les Brown, tell us, even if you fall, make sure you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And another one of my favorite quotes from him is this, Lindsey, is that if it's hard, say I do it hard, because I am unstoppable. So that's why I created the Believe Bus, because one time when I wanted to die, after I got out of, did no 5 days right there, and I didn't want to face people, I was ready to kill myself again. I was like, I can't believe I let a good girl went bad. I can't believe I did that. So I was ready to kill myself. And I had on YouTube and had on Les Brown. And he was just saying that, you know what, no matter what you go through, you still can break through. You got to believe in your dreams. And that's what I always told my grandma. I believe. She said, well, baby, you keep believing and you make it happen. She said, I might not be here, but you make it happen. And that's why I created that Believe Bus. And bus is for B is for breakthrough, U is for unstoppable, and S is for success. Breakthrough, unstoppable success. Because no matter what I went through, I still broke through. I might have had to go through some things. Even though he beat me, he wasn't the one who beat me, but my last daughter beat me. Because the one that I ended up going, we did it 5 days and everything with, me and him are the best of friends now. And he done changed his whole life. But the one that beat me, I ended up getting beat, Lindsay, going through domestic violence because I want them same type of men. You know, you want them same type of men, things happen. You know, and before you know it, this dude had locked me in a house, hit me in my head with a gun 3 times. I couldn't even spell the word that, Lindsay. I was spelling the word D-E-T. DET. I had to get cognitive therapy. I had to get brain stem therapy. I had to get physical therapy. I had to get occupational therapy. I had to see a psychologist because of the abuse that I went through. Even in high school, I went through a little bit of abuse because, you know, when you're from a small town, when you see somebody getting beat, you know, it wasn't really a big deal, you know, because that was just, you see that happening all the time. So, you know, it can be such a struggle. And it took years for me to see that my short-term memory was leaving some. From those licks that happened years ago, it affected me 10 years later even more. So I'm back getting therapy and everything again because I noticed that my memory wasn't the same. I noticed that my words were getting off again. I noticed that I skip a word, like how you write a sentence and you'll skip a whole word. I thank God Facebook got where you can go in and hit the edit button and fix everything you can do. And people be like, well, I'll do your copywriting. I said, no, I don't want you to do my copywriting unless it's one of my books and my editing. I said, I want people to see what God can do. Even though I have those disabilities, where they say I have those disabilities, but look what God can do. You got to remember, Moses had inadequacy. I mean, Moses informed God of all his inadequacies, right? Moses had a disability, but God still see him an Aaron. And he tried to tell God, you know, why me, God? You know, and God told him, tell them the I am sent you. That's why I have an organization now called Women of Love, Power, Respect, with over 58,000 women on my online fan page right now, because they knew that I wasn't the only one. God knew I wasn't the only one that went through things like this. 58,000 people. When I wrote that first book, I might have had 600 some people on that page. When they got that book, they was like, oh my God, wow. Then when I did Women Warriors That Rock, I went out there and found women that was going through the same thing I did, that was going through domestic violence, women that was going through traumatic experiences, women who thought they could never be nobody, that thought they wasn't good enough, or thought they didn't have the power that's inside of them. And I named the book Women Warriors That Make It Rock, where you love yourself with love, power, and respect, but when you go from rock bottom to rocking the world. Because think about it, Lindsay. People that's when you at the rock bottom, you feel like you suffocating, right? You feel like you're drowning, right? But even if you at that bottom of the ocean, there's still pearls. You know, there's pearls at the bottom of that ocean. And them oysters, there's pearls. What are oysters in the ocean? There's still pearls. So you got to learn to come up with your pearls. You got to learn how to fight. You got to learn how to rock. You got to learn how to keep going. You got to learn that you are powerful. You got to know that you are somebody great. You got to know that whatever comes your way, you can keep going, because you can you can break every barrier. You can break every chain. You can be whoever God say you can be. It doesn't matter what nobody say about you. Do you know, if I would have went on what people said about me when I first came in my career, like, what is this dummy doing here? You know, I heard some things, like one time I was in the bathroom and 2 ladies in there didn't know I was in there using the bathroom. I'm listening to them tell me, girl, did you hear her grandma? She sound off. Well, you know what, Lindsay? I might not talk like you. I might not talk like them, but I talk like me. And God said, D-I-M said, you talk where you're going to break change off others, because yes, you can do it. And I've been doing it ever since then, Lindsay.
And listen, round of applause. I need for all the viewers and listeners to put their hand claps in the comments right now, because again, there were so many gems that were dropped. So I'm gonna need every single body to go back and make sure you watch the replay, because I know you missed something. I know you missed something. And then don't forget to comment, love, share this video out. If you're just tuning in, you are missing all the juicy goodness, okay? This is the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner. That's me, and our very beautiful guest, Dr. Nichole Peters, who has been dropping all the gems. And there are a few things that I want to make sure that I point out, okay? But before I do that, I need for everyone to make sure that you go to bit.ly/happy updates so that you can stay updated on all things happy hour. You see it scrolling at the bottom of your screen. For my audio listeners, that's bit.ly/happy updates so that you can find out when episodes are airing, who the guests are going to be, and all of those good things. We're here every single Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and some bonus Thursdays, like 2 days away on August 12th. But meanwhile, let me just recap for the folks in the balcony, okay? We have to make sure that we get out of this place of fear. All right. Faith and fear can't live in the same house. You got to pick one or the other, and you got to rock with it. And when we are living in that state of fear, then there are so many people that are meant to be impacted by us and our stories and our purpose that aren't going to be impacted. So I need for everybody to think back. If that author hadn't showed up on career day because she was in her feelings, maybe she felt like, oh, I'm not feeling pretty today, or oh, somebody just passed away, or I'm, just in my feelings for whatever reason, and she decided to cancel on career day, then Nichole wouldn't have had her breakthrough. But she showed up, and Nichole had her breakthrough. And then there were times when Nichole showed up and other people had her breakthrough. A lot of times we will let the fear of our own insecurities, whether that's a disability or feeling like we don't have enough degrees or enough money or enough connections, or we're not pretty enough, whatever your insecurity is, we allow that to hold us back from the things that we are destined to do and the people we are destined to impact. So if Dr. Nichole would have allowed her past and her disabilities with her speech and speaking hold her back, then think how many lives would not be impacted today.
Yes.
So we have to show up, period, point blank, flaws and all, because you are you for a reason. Every single person walking this earth has a purpose. Let me say it again. You are you for a reason, and your story is somebody else's breakthrough. You are the answer to somebody else's prayer. That teacher didn't know what Nichole was going through at home before she went to school today. That speaker and author didn't know what Nichole was going through before she came to school that day. And so we have to remember, you have the ability to make or break somebody. You have the ability to speak life or death, just like the Bible says. Our tongues have the power to speak life or death. And in that moment, when that teacher was ready to speak death over Dr. Nichole, then there was that author and the speaker that was ready to speak life over Dr. Nichole, and she didn't even know it. So that's why it's important that we show up despite how we're feeling on the inside, because we never know who is connected to the things that we've been through, who's connected to our voices, who's connected to our experiences. And so we have to continue to show up because we are all in this together.
Yes.
Dr. Nichole, you have been so amazing. I can't believe we're already nearing the top of the hour. Over here in the comments, listen, there are so many. They just gonna have to pop up.
We got the Believe team in there, and you got the top leading bosses in there. The Believe team, beep, beep, beep. I see you all.
So I want you to share with the people what it is that you're doing today, because despite wanting to commit suicide on multiple occasions, despite being in domestic violence, despite being, the drug queen pin, despite going to jail for 5 days, despite being beat to where it affected your speech and your cognitive abilities, despite all of the things that were meant to hold you back growing up in the project, in poverty, and every other thing that you went through, You are this phenomenal woman that is impacting the world. So share with everybody what it is that you do today and how you are making a difference. Because if God can do it for her, he can
He
do
can
it
do it
for
for
you
you.
too.
Yes, yes, yes. That's it, Lindsay. What I do today is I have my own television network called Believe in Your Dreams Television. I have my own academy called Believe in Your Dreams Academy, where I teach young kids how they can believe in their dreams. That study having the believe bunny. I come in as the believe warrior, and I give them this egg, the golden egg, and inside that egg, I have them to write what they want to be. And whatever they want to be, I want them to, don't matter what nobody tell them, they go and beat it. And I also teach them how to write the books. Then I have Believe in Dream Publishing, where I have published so many books all around the world since 2009. I have people all the way from Canada to Australia to everywhere, where I have Jim T. Chong, people like Jim Staval that have Emmy and Oscars, people like Shonda Christian's son, where she got over 950,000 views right now on Amazon. Her book turned into a movie called Junkie. So that's what I do right now. And it's the buzz, the Believe buzz, B. And that bus is, we show people how to take their books, how to take their story and make it out of film, make it out of a TV show. Like, we got the Lindsay on our TV show, The Happy Hour. We got Darissa on our show. We have Sheila. We have some Sharon, all us, Dr. Renee. And one thing I love about Dr. Renee was, I was going through something last week. And she said, you know what, Nichole? She said 911. She said, you say Psalm 91 is one of your favorite scriptures, right? She said, have you ever noticed it was 911, emergency? She said, so keep going to Psalm 91. When she said that, it reminded me of my grandmother so much. When she said it, I was like, you're right. You're right. It's 911. It's 911. You know, the shelter of the Most High. You know, he will cover you in your shelter of the Most High. He'll refuge you. And he'll send his angels down to cover you. So that's what I do now, is show people how to take their stuff to media, to film, and breaking news. And with Breaking News Journal Network, with Believing Your Dreams, with Smart TV, Mini TV, on different platforms like Amazon, on different platforms like Roku. I got partnerships now with one of the phenomenal companies, one of the best, one of the ones coming with the short film with Netflix coming up. I can't wait. I got so many other things that's coming up with USA Today, a couple of people that I'm going to be doing a lot of more business with, that I'm working with. And it's just amazing to see how, because I believed, I left that dark environment. Even though, like she said, I had went through it. I was the right-hand chick to a dope man. Felt like I had a chip on my shoulder. I felt like everything they said about my environment, being me and Miss Muncho and hard to the core, you know, that was the best thing to do, because you know what, street credibility, let's keep it real now. When you got street credibility, you got some things. But then I thought about it, that common sense, that wisdom, enough book sense to get me where I need to go. And with God, that's all I needed. I don't have to be a street person to see that I can be good. Like, did I lose a lot of my friends that I was out there with? Yes, I did, because they didn't like the new. You changed. Okay, now it's time for you to change. That's what I used to tell them.
Okay.
You changed. That's the first thing you used to tell me, girl, you changed. Yes, and it's time for you to change. They didn't like my answer. So I lost some of them, and it hurt me that I lost some of them, because I really, really love them. And I wanted them to see, if I can do it, like you said earlier, you can do it. So that's the main thing. I still have some that's still with me now, that's done changed their life. And not God only didn't make me local, but he made me global. When I'm speaking in Paris, I'm speaking in Bahamas, I'm speaking in Cozumel, Mexico. Cruise line calling me now, Carnival Cruise, hey, you're going to do another book conference now. We're back open now. Let's get it going. And to see the cruise line all purchase my books and everything. To see Royal Caribbean had the same books that I published inside their bookstore. Like, this is the girl you talking about from a little small town, right? In Bugalusa, and from the project for over 18 years, lived in the project. You know, when some people say they from the projects, really, I ain't talking about no 1 year, 2 year. I literally lived that life, 18 years of that life. You know, I know everything that went on. Show me that you're for that environment. Show me you're for that people in the poverty area. Show me that's what you for. Because you know what? It's time out for playing games, because they need us. It's so many women that feel like, you know, down there, that feel like, baby, you know what? I can't be no better than what I am. But if I show them, I'm not afraid of what I went through. I don't face people head on. You get what I'm saying, Lindsay? Head on, like, look. You cannot judge me on my past because you got to go talk to God about that because I'm living in my future and I'm rocking. I'm soaring and I'm slaying every demon that come my way. So you can go ahead and you can talk about my past. You can say whatever you want to say about it. My people that know me from home, and when I go home and I see some of my people now and they say, "Oh, girl, look at you now. Look how you done changed." That make me feel good, Lindsay. Knowing that I have made a difference in my life. Oh, girl, I read your book. And girl, how did you get out of that? Because I realized I'm not a part of darkness. I'm a part of light.
Yes.
I'm from light. And the power inside of me rocks. The power that is in you, great is he that's in me, is also in the world. And like I said, you got to think about it. Everybody got their position somewhere. You know, Deborah, her position was at a palm tree. Remember, she's always have to go to this palm tree. That's where she really got her, how can I put it? She was planted there. Even though I might have been planted by seeing those bars zoom on me for those 5 days, but it planted me to get in my position. See, God will put you in some dark places to get you in your position. It's not what nobody else can do. It's sometimes what God can do because there's no running from God. You know, I was like Jonah. I was just like Jonah. You know, Jonah, he ended up running out to the bottom of the ship, but he still got thrown over and was in that belly of the whale. I was going through a belly of hell instead of the whale until I got in my position. And now look, I got so many people, over 75 people, part of Believe in Your Dreams team. We're doing top 40 media bosses. Congratulations, Lindsay, for being a top media bosses. You know, we're doing that right now, showing people what we can do in the media. I've been an ambassador for Level Up Success Conference, Women of Success Conference, doing ambassadorship. I helped Dr. Cheryl Wood with Impact Nation, you know, being a part of Vocalize. That's where I met the wonderful Lindsey at, doing Vocalize. I end up getting an award for Most Persistent Award. So it's all in what you're going to do. Is you're going to let anything stop you? Listen, I don't think it's nothing can stop me but God. I don't care. They can sling a dart at me. They can throw a bullet at me. They can throw their words at me. But long as I got God in me, I'm going to stand. Until he say, as long as he breathing through my nostrils, I'm going to keep going. So that's what I'm doing now, helping other women to break those chains, break those barriers, break them bricks, and let's keep going. Let's keep going forth by turning their stories not only into books, but also into TV shows and to media. And Believe in Your Dreams Productions and Network is growing. And I just want to say, God, grace, and mercy is for all of us. And if you just tap into the power of God, your power is not what you do. It's not Dr. Nichole. It's not who people you know. Your power is your strength from God. Don't they should know this? The joy of the Lord is your strength. And one thing he's saying, I'm gonna stop Lindsay right there because girl, I'm feeling it right now. But one thing what God says is this: do not fear, do not be afraid, but believe. Psalms 91:6, I believe that's what it is. Do not be afraid, but do not fear, but believe. Believe is a powerful word. It's no more than a word. It's a feeling. And once you get that feeling, like, I believe that God said I'm going to be great. I believe that I'm better than what anybody else say. I believe I'm going to be that doctor. Look at me now. I have 2 PhDs in biblical studies and leadership, 2 honorary doctorates in Christian counseling and Christian education. Look at me now. It doesn't matter what the enemy came at me and tried to kill me or tell me to kill myself. He didn't succeed because God got a plan for me. Just like he got a plan for you and you and you. Breakthrough, everybody. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. The Believe bus is here. Breakthrough, unstoppable success. So let me.
He didn't succeed because God has a plan for you and every single person that is tuned in, whether you're live or catching the replay. God has a plan for every single person, but you have to believe and trust in that. Like I said earlier, faith and fear can't live in the same house. So you got to pick who's going to be your roommate, okay?
Yes.
Because you can't have them both at the same time. And I can't believe these hours always go by so fast, so fast. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the Happy Hour show with Lindsey Vertner. That's me and our very gorgeous guest, Dr. Nichole Peters. And you missed it. You missed it. It's okay because I still got one more question. We're going to go maybe 5 minutes over.
That's okay.
But I know y'all don't mind. Y'all don't mind. And you can always go back and watch the replay. Either way, make sure you keep commenting, loving, and sharing this video out. All right. Because if it
Yes.
helps you, then Lord knows who else is going to help on your feed. And so I have a signature question that I have to ask all of my guests. All right. Because I am all about living your first class life, creating your first class life. And for those of you that are new to the show or new to me, what does that mean? When you are creating your first class life, that means you are intentional about the life you are creating for yourself. That means you're intentional about creating happiness in every single moment that you can. That means you are boldly and authentically showing up as you, flaws and all. You're intentional about shedding away those masks that we put on. You know, when we get up in the morning, we put on that mask of fear, we put on that mask of doubt, we put on that mask of pretending to be somebody that we really ain't to please somebody else. So
Yes.
all of those masks, when you're
Take them
creating
off.
your first class life, you take away all of those and you show up as you, and you are walking in your God-given purpose, creating a living legacy. And guess
Yes.
what? Not only will you create a life that is full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness for yourself, but every single person connected to you will reap the benefits of that overflow. And so, with that said, I have to ask all of my guests, how do you, Dr. Nichole, intentionally create happiness in your life?
How I create intentionally happiness in my life is that I know. I'm going to go back to that scripture I said earlier. The joy of the Lord is my strength. And with that being said, I know I got to stay joyous. I don't never want to go back to a dark spot again, because the power of prayer. And if you get Lindsey book, First Class Life, I was in there. I did a chapter in that book, y'all, and we made bestsellers. So make sure Lindsey show him the book. I don't have mine yet. Show him the book. But this is the book, y'all. And it's so many stories. And I say, y'all know I'm from Louisiana. I live in Florida, Tampa now, but the First Class Life devotional. Get this book. It's so many women in there that tell their story. And I break down, I think, 7 different ways of how I stay slaying, sowing, and making sure the enemy doesn't come my way. And it's because the power of prayer. The power of prayer is my vitamins in the morning. The power of prayer is my vitamins before I lay my head down at night. I also make sure I stay in environments where I go to retreats, conferences. I stay in positive environments. Make sure you're around people that really genuine care for you. And remove the mask, like Lindsey said. It's no sense of you wearing a mask when God already know what you done. You don't have to hide from nobody. Once God know what you did, it's up to you to want to face it the right way, or you can keep going backwards, and you will never get to where you'll never get to the light if you stay in the darkness. Come out of the darkness and go into light. Your story is God's glory. When you tell your testimony, people's like, girl, I'm surprised you told all that we went through, especially when we used to go by people's house, and then next thing you know, you knocking somebody, you hit, having a fight or cussing somebody out. You told it all in your book. You know why? Because I don't have to worry about you and nobody else telling nothing on me, because I let it out myself. Because once I gave it to God, that's your power right there. Is when you give your burdens, your darkness, give it all to God, and you walk out into authority like, I am new. He done created me a whole new heart. He done created me a whole new mindset. He done created me a whole new life. Oh, Jesus is sweet like honeycomb. Sweet like honeycomb. He always tell us to be a cheerful giver. That's why I make sure I give back to different organizations. I make sure I do my tithes. I make sure that I help kids that's wounded. I make sure I help women that's going through domestic violence. That's the main thing I want to build, Lindsey, is the Dr. Nichole Peters Believe Academy. One side it would be for domestic violence women. The other side it would be to tutor kids that create an arts. No, they don't make it in football or make it in, when you don't make it in sports, a lot of kids end up falling down to the streets and getting into gangs and different things. I want them to show them that you can be an artist, you can be a writer, you can be a speaker. We need young men that's speaking out there, especially young Black males out there, to speak to these young males out here. So that's what I do to keep my happiness going, and stay in light. Stay positive and know the power of prayer is my weapon against the enemy. We would tear him down every time, we trample over him every time we walk.
Okay,
Yes.
listen, that was the phenomenal Dr. Nichole Peters, CEO and founder of Believe in Your Dreams Productions. I told y'all she was fired. Didn't I tell y'all? I tried to warn y'all. So if you didn't bring your pen and paper, luckily you can catch a replay, okay? But
Thanks
y'all should
everybody that
know by
came.
now. Y'all
I
should
love you,
always bring
Lindsay.
your pen and paper. I love you too, Dr. Nichole, because that's what the happy hour show is all about. We have fun, but we keep it real and
Yeah, we
raw.
keep it
It's
real.
all
Eh,
about helping you to develop in
yes.
whatever area it is, because we're always dropping gems for your life, for your mental, for your emotional, your spiritual, your professional, all
Yeah.
of it. Okay.
And you know what, Lindsay? I gotta let them know you gotta have people like Lindsay on your team. One
Aw.
time, don't think because what we do as coaches and speakers and writers that we don't go through things. I done had to call Lindsay, and she had helped me out of a dark spot before. I have my VP like Tanisha Ramsey that helped me in my dark spot, and my apostles. So that's another thing. You got to have those women, those power women, just like you that know the power of prayer. And Lindsay is one of them, baby. And she rocking. She's amazing, and I love my sister.
I love you. Yes, yes. So be mindful of your circle, all right? They should be helping you to rise. Y'all helping each
Yes.
other to rise. And
Yes.
if y'all not, then you need to rethink your circle. So, Dr. Nichole,
I love y'all right
tell
back.
everybody where they can find you. Tell them about the free gift that you have. I'm going to put that on the screen right now. So go ahead and
Yes.
share with them
They're gonna
about
be
the
shocked too.
call.
I got a good free gift for you all. I am going to do a class and give y'all a free 15-minute media boss coaching. What I want you to do right now is take your phone out. And I want you to text the word where my grandma always told me to do, believe in my dreams. But I want you to text the word just dreams. DREAMS to 64600. And the reason why people like, Nichole, I can't believe, you got the two sixes in there. I did it on purpose and put the 4 in there because it knocked out the 00, knock out both of those sixes because, the enemy can't touch me. So text 64600. And that 00 means you start over. And you can start put dreams in there. And I'm going to send you a link, and I'm going to tell you what my class is, and I'm going to give y'all a 15-minute media coaching because the world needs y'all voice. The world need to know y'all story. You don't know by having to show how much you can change people. So come on and get your 15-minute free. And I say 15 minutes, y'all. I'll probably be on there about 30 minutes. My team will tell you. I'll probably give y'all 30, 40 minutes. I love my team. The Believe team is in the house. I love them so much. And they'll tell you I over deliver. So get ready to soar. And I want to give y'all that free 15-minute media coaching. Yes, media coaching. I didn't do book coaching this time because I want to take you up a level. Let's go to media.
Yes, yes, because listen, if you the best kept secret, you can have everything that the power of life, the key to youth and happiness and all that stuff. But if don't nobody know about you,
Yes. That's it. If
people
don't
got to
nobody
find
know, how
out
can they
about
help
you.
you?
Okay. So again, text dreams to 64600 to get your free 15-minute media coaching call with the Dr. Nichole Phillips. For my audio listeners, again, that's dreams, plural, with an S on the end, to 64600. And
Yes.
thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Happy Hour Show. I know you could be doing anything in the world, but you have spent the last hour with myself and our lovely guest, Dr. Nichole Peters.
Yay.
So
Thank you, Lindsay.
make sure that you reach out to her. You connect. Not only do you
Mm-hmm.
text dreams to 64600, but also you see her info right here on the screen. You can find her on Instagram at CEO Believe in Your Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Again, on Instagram, that's CEO Believe in Your Dreams. You can find her on all the platforms. So make sure you reach out and connect. And then again, make sure you sign up for updates for all things happy hour
Mm-hmm.
at bit.ly/happy updates. And I love y'all. It's been awesome. And let me just share one word from tonight's sponsors. Love and Science Logistics. They are tonight's episode of the Happy Hour Show is sponsored by Love and Science Logistics, the premier car and cargo haulers serving the Southeast from Texas to Florida. All right. So that is
Ooh.
tonight's sponsors for the episode. And again, bit.ly/happy updates. I pray that everyone has a blessed and abundant rest of your week. Remember, we're here every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We have until the end of September. Season 3 ends at the end of September. So make sure you mark every Tuesday to show up right here, same place, same time. Then we have a few bonus Thursdays, like this coming up Thursday, August 12th. There'll be a bonus episode there. So again, make sure you tune in, share it with your friends. Don't forget to grab your drink and join the chat. And with that, peace out, everybody. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Bye.
Bye.